physicality and strength you get for the strongest pound-for-pound player on the team, Austin Ekeler.
Well, I don't want to say underappreciated, but around the country, you don't talk about Austin Ekeler. But he has been great for these guys. 5th year at Western Colorado.
I think they're kind of mixing up the tempo so far in this game. We've seen some hurry up. Now we see them back in a huddle. Varying tempo here against the Steelers.
Keep it on the ground and into the end zone. Austin Ekeler.
Strum that sweet song, Austin.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, baby. Strum he did. Y'all know this man to my right, a man that enhances your experience, whether it's through watching Chargers games, playing fantasy football, or he gives life tidbits on his Instagram page. Coming off the best season in the NFL that he's ever had, where he had 1,500 total yards, over 4.5 yards a carry, 70 receptions, scored 20 touchdowns. This man's on the gridiron. He's in the gym, in his gaming chair, and he's even at the NFL draft. The man that always gives you the edge. It is Austin Ekeler. How's it going, man?
Hey, that's a sick intro, man. I appreciate that. I like it. That's hype.
Of course, well, I got to do it big for you.
I appreciate it, man. Good stuff. It always kicks it off well when you do a good intro. So those of you trying to start podcasts, take notes.
I love it. Well, I mean, blessed to have you on the first time last year. Blessed again to have you back a second time. But this time, you're coming off a 20 touchdown season, 20 total touchdowns. And to put that in perspective, you joined LT as the only 2 players in Chargers history to score that many touchdowns in a single season. And you also tied the NFL lead last year. I mean, was it something you're eating? Was it something in the workout routine? I don't know what it is. What were you doing differently, man?
Hey, nothing differently. It was really nothing differently. It's everything I've always been about, everything that I put into my efforts in my life, and it comes down to taking advantage of opportunities. I had a couple more opportunities that I usually have down in the red zone last year. The year before that, blew out my hamstring. That takes away a lot of opportunities when it comes to being an athlete. So this year got through pretty much a fully healthy season and was able to take advantage of my time on the field.
You really did, man. And you were a steal in the second round in fantasy football drafts, which kind of leads us into our next
second round. Damn, who you drafted with?
I don't know. I guess the wrong people, man. I got you in the second
round. Oh, I couldn't get myself anywhere, man.
This year, first round, but last year, I guess the hamstring helped a little bit. But
yeah. People, we're a little speculative. That's all good.
But you are one of the few guys, I think, in football that I know guys like fantasy football, but you outwardly embrace it so much that you
football.
did. Yeah, and you did Eckler's Edge with Liz Loza this past season. And I got to ask you, what gave you the inspiration to want to do that project and to really start connecting with the fantasy community?
Yeah, I think it's overlooked by a lot of guys, on why fantasy football is important. And I don't love fantasy football because I'm like, oh, who I got on my team? Let's check them out. Like, that's cool and all, but I love how passionate people are about it. I love how it takes fans from other teams, or maybe not even fans of teams in general, but makes them a fan of Austin Ekeler if I'm on their team. Like, they're rooting for me directly. And now I have more fans across the entire nation than I do for, my Chargers, the team that I play for, right? Like, it's like 10-1, probably more than that. Like, it's insane because fantasy football has this huge community, right? And if you implant yourself into that community and just give a little bit of effort and just say, hey, I appreciate y'all. Like, you don't have to go as hard as I did. I jumped all in. I got the show. I'm doing giveaways. I told you before the podcast this year, we're kicking up the engagement. And if you win our giveaway, we're also going to be flying you and one other person to our home games. So something no one's ever done. Like, we're going as big as we can. Like, I don't got a lot of time in the NFL, but as I'm in here, I'm going to be making this crazy. I'm leaving a wake of showing guys like, hey, this is how much you can actually engage, right? So fantasy football is a perfect place to do that because it's just really passionate people. You probably know, like, people get in arguments, the friendly banter, just how serious it is. So that's why I love fantasy football.
I mean, it's such a refreshing thing to hear for people that are diehards like myself, like many others that watch the channel here. And the fact that you're doing that type of giveaway this year is just insane. Like you said, no one's ever done anything like that before. The fact that you were giving jerseys out last year was one thing. This is a whole nother level. Are you able to release how you're able to possibly win those giveaways?
We're still working on that. Last year it was just like repost you winning with me on your fantasy team on Instagram and tag me in it. That's how it was last year. But we're thinking of new ways. I'm also developing an app, and so I would love for this giveaway to live on that app because it's an engagement platform. So we don't have enough time to talk about that on this podcast, but that'll be coming here in the next few months. That's for the next podcast.
That's absolutely sick, man.
Awesome.
I'm already pumped, man. Like it's June. Like I need August, September to get here just to be able to find more out about that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I got to ask you one other thing touching on fantasy here. You play, of course, for the Chargers. I got to ask you, is there anybody on your team that's flying under the radar a little bit that I should maybe consider looking at in my fantasy drafts, or any talk that we should know about?
Under the radar, I would probably say Josh Palmer for our team's probably going to have a bigger role than last year. Last year, he was very consistent, made some huge plays. And now, he was a rookie last year, and so he's gone through it. He understands the game a little bit more, and I think he's going to make his input into our deep threat game. I think that's where he's going to live for now because Keenan's pretty much got the short and mid on lock, and Mike has been sneaking in there a little bit too. Josh has still got some of that, but I think his opportunity is going to come in the deep part of the field. So I don't know if he's someone you'd want to pick up early because he is, going to be one of those like hit or miss type of game guys where it's like you either get like 20 points or you get like 3, but I think Josh can have a breakout year. I'm excited for him.
I have heard some rumors, try to plug in as much to Twitter as I can, and they're talking about Isaiah Spiller might be the best backup to you since you and Melvin Gordon were doing the 1-2 combo. What do you see from Isaiah Spiller?
I hope so, man. I hope so. I'm trying to play for another 5-6 years. To do that, you better take some reps off my body. Like I play running back. We don't last long. So what does that mean? All right, we need someone else to be making some plays. Absolutely, I'm going to come into the building trying to take every single play and make other people earn it because, that's the competitor in me. But I also see in a different light as far as I want to play for a long time, so I need someone else to be able to actually make plays as well. I haven't really seen much out of him just because I didn't go to OTA, so I was only with him for 2 days. But in those 2 days when we're in the meeting rooms, he's asking the right questions. He's proactive. He's vocal in our meeting rooms, which is what I like to see. It means he's actually stepping out maybe of his comfort zone, actually talking, asking questions. That's how you start growing. So he's on the right track as far as right now. Haven't seen him in the weight room really much on the field. And as a running back, when you don't have pads on and stuff like that, it's pretty hard to tell, really until you get to, training camp. So we'll see. Coming soon.
Like you said, 70 catches last year you had, along with all the carries you had. And yeah, you do need somebody else to at least spell you at times, as talented as you are, the longevity aspect. So.
Look, I didn't have an insane amount of touches or anything like that, but I'm also 5'8", 190 pounds, right? So like I'm not these giant bruisers out here that can take this, but like when I get hit, it hurts, man. Like these guys are 100 pounds on me. This stuff hurts. And so I'm like, okay, look, if we can spread the love, like I would gladly go back to the 1-2 punch because I know that's when I was the most efficient in my career. And I also know that'll make my career a lot longer. And so that's what I'm trying to get back to. Sure, I'll stay the number 1 if you want to call it that. I honestly don't care. I'm going to be on the field making plays regardless. So, yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Oh, yeah. You and that talented offense, which as a Chiefs fan always pains me to look at how talented you guys are.
It's always a good matchup, man. Us and our just division in general this year is going to be some good games.
Every game should be televised. AFC West game automatically in my eyes.
Right. Right.
But I also got to ask you, because one of the reasons I really like just your game, just overall who you are, is because you are a workout warrior. They called you PFP, the pound for pound strongest guy in the league. And I love the workouts. I love how much time you spend in the gym doing like that myself. So I got to ask you, how have the workouts been going so far? Have you been, are you stronger? Are you just keeping everything like a normal routine? What's going on with that?
At this point, I'm in like maintain mode. Like I'm still pretty strong, but like I'm just maintaining. I've probably been around the same amount of strength since probably like my second year in the league. But there's just so much value that you get from going to the gym. You don't even have to be an athlete. Like just the social aspects, right? The accountability, the mental toughness, the physical toughness, right? You're building your self-esteem. You feel good, right? Like just the physical, like, benefits from your body, going through and functioning and moving, all that in 1 hour of working out, and like, it's really hard to get that much out of 1 hour in any other space. And so it's a great way to just keep moving. It's been a part of my life forever. And it transitions obviously into my job, which is very, very physical. So works out for me. Got lucky with that one, and it'll be a part of my lifestyle forever.
I mean, speaking of that, I think maybe when you retire at some point, hopefully like 10 years from now, you could have like a pre-workout line or like just like supplements too. I could see
I sign with 0 supplements. I don't take any supplements.
No pre-workout?
No pre-workout, no protein powders, no, creatine, no, none of this BS. Like, just all you need is food, man. All you need is food.
Oh man.
You got all these supplement companies selling you all these like empty dreams, like this is gonna make you so huge, and they got some jacked guy or girl on there. Like, this is what you're like, that's BS. All that's such BS. Like, get your butt in the gym, eat healthy. That'll work 100% of the time.
Man, I didn't know you had never tried pre-workout before. That's at least
I've tried it, and it's like, what is this? Like, so I don't know. Don't you get me going down that rabbit hole, I'll get frustrated.
I respect it. I respect it. So I do have to touch the last thing about the workout stuff. Last time you were on here, we talked about who could do more pull-ups between you or myself.
Not even a chance.
Have you not? I did tag you like a while back on the.
How many did you do?
It was like 25.
Okay, my little brother and I did a challenge where we had a 45 plate strapped to us, and I did 19.
No, they weren't. They were. They probably went like down like halfway. I'm sure.
We gotta pull this up. Pull it up. You're gonna have to edit that in. Pull up that video.
Okay.
It's on my Instagram. You tell me if it went all the way down.
They were full arm extension chin up or pull up. Okay.
I'll have to check. We'll check after the podcast.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But
I would like to say, if I'm blessed enough to win one of those giveaways this season, it has to include us getting one workout in the gym, because a workout with you, dunking on LeBron James, and shooting under a 90 in golf are my 3 goals in life. So
wow. So my app might actually help out with that. That might make that a reality.
Ooh.
So
I love this, man.
So my app basically in a million feet up gives access to people in a customized way that talent or celebs are willing to give to their communities. So that might be a possibility.
Wow. Awesome, man. This is getting me hyped. The last thing I did want to talk about, of course, your awesome foundation, the Austin Ekeler Foundation, where 100% of the proceeds go to charity. I just want you to be able to shed light on that for those that haven't been able to access it yet.
Yeah, just in my journey in life, I've really just been very thankful of the opportunities that I've had that have been set in front of me. And it hasn't been like it's like massive opportunities that's going to skyrocket me to the top, but it was something that I could use to get myself started, like a weight room, like, having access to football equipment, or like, my education at school, like those resources that I could use. And so what our foundation focuses on is providing those resources where they might not be present. For instance, we built a weight room up in Santa Barbara. We implemented washers and dryers in Watts, into some schools in Watts, because they had a high low income family population, which people didn't have washers and dryers at home. Number one reason these kids in elementary school weren't coming to school. They don't have clean clothes. They're getting bullied. So like, all right, now they can do their laundry at school, right? Just things like that, the opportunities that you don't even think about that are opportunities when you're in it. But looking from outside in, I know like this is what builds the stepping stones for you to get started in life. And so that's where all of our proceeds go, right? Everything that comes from, our fundraising, our apparel, any donations, all of it goes back into actual resources that go into these communities. And we've done a bunch of different school supplies, a bunch of different football equipment for people, just things that they can actually use and that will last for years and impact the lives of thousands over time. So that's our motive. That's the motivation. That's where, I've started that a year and a half ago, and we're finally getting some good traction where we're able to do some consistent projects. So would always appreciate the support, and I appreciate, let me share that.
Of course, man. And you're one of the few people I know where 100% of the proceeds go to that. Again, he's not putting any in his pocket. He's going all to charity for everything. And also, I mean, you can donate and get some really cool gear too. Like I just ordered one of the cool little sleeveless ones with the Los Angeles like light blue on it. Yeah, it's absolutely fire. And you can get some great gear and donate to a great cause. And where can they access that? Was the website, I think it's Austin Ekeler store?
Straight up austinekeler.com. If you type in /store, it'll take you there, or you can just click store on austinekeler.com.
It's fantastic. And so is this man, Austin Ekeler, off of 20 touchdown season, the man connected to fantasy football like no other. Austin, I truly appreciate your time. And for one last time, for the people out there, just plug anything you want the audience to know about, any upcoming projects or anything people should.
Yeah, I mean, really everything that if you want to know about, the motivation stuff that I'm doing, the foundation, all the stuff is on Instagram. So like I post there daily as far as what I got going on, some motivation. I'll get your butt in the gym, at least get you excited, or get some motivation to go, because I think that's where I think we can all build and all get so much value for almost free. It's $10 a month for, Planet Fitness or whatever is out there. It's like, come on, there's no excuse. But yeah, follow me on Instagram. You'll see all the stuff I got going on.
Some great motivational stuff yesterday, and he can be your pre-workout. You don't need the actual supplement.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, for Austin, man, I'm David. Thank you all for tuning in and checking out another episode. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Always dropping great content daily. And make sure you follow Austin on all his socials at Austin Ekeler. He is the man, the myth, the legend. Austin, again, thank you so much, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.